Hey guys, welcome back to another session here. So as I mentioned before, this week we're going into a little bit of a strengthening specifics, talking about very specific muscle groups that I mentioned before that I think are important to strengthen coming out of some kind of injury or if they're weak in general. It's important to continuously do these exercises as you go on. So we're going to finish off today with our mini-series talking about part 2 of what we did the other day, incorporating core work, lumbo-pelvic hip complex, glutes, and obviously just talk about a little bit of some exercises for the back as well, which gives support to the core. So that's going to be our part 2 of today. So stay tuned. And again, if you guys feel that some of these exercises can be a little bit more challenging, I'm going to give you some regressions as well as you can do, because I know some of these exercises can be a little bit tough on the core area. So you got to make sure to really kind of start off at a lighter level and kind of work your way up from there. Okay, so let's get straight into it. First things first, we're going to get into a little bit of a stretch. So the key thing here is, remember, you want to make sure to stretch out the muscles that you're targeting. Okay, so we're going to come back here, do the same thing, kind of loosen up, right on the stability ball, bring your arms back, kind of roll back and forth. We're going to come into kind of like an arch position and really kind of loosen up those ab muscles. All right, so hold that position as best you can, just kind of roll back and forth, nice and easy. Okay, really get that position in check there. Okay, give yourself a little bit of a breather, come up slowly. And remember, when you come up, you got to make sure that you're actually rolling yourself up to seated position. Okay, that's very important to do. So when you do these exercises, all right, you come down, you want to make sure to roll down on the ball little by little. Okay, come straight back like this, and then you're going to slowly work your way up when you're finished to a seated position. Okay, so that's the first one. I definitely recommend you doing that for at least a couple times just to get yourself nice and loosened up. And then the second part we're going to do now is going into a swan dive to a little child's pose position. Okay, so this one right here again is very, very important to loosen up the lower back. Okay, and also obviously important to target the glute muscles as well. So we're going to kind of come down like this, really stretch out. Feel that stretch from the lats coming all the way down to your lower back. You want to hold that position, okay, for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then we're just going to come inside, come up to a little swan dive. Hold that and come back. Make sure to come back to the initial position again. All right. Hold this as best you can. Then come up again. Swan dive position. So we're going to do this a couple more times. Make sure to get your lower back nice and loosened up. And one more time. Beautiful. Okay, last one. Really feel that stretch, not only just in the lower back, but also in your large back muscles too, your lats. Okay, working all the way down to your pelvic floor. And release. Alrighty. And one more we're going to do. Again, this is more from mobility purposes. So, as I mentioned before, stretching techniques are so important to incorporate when you first start. You know, you can do static stretching, you can do dynamic stretching, go into some foam rolling even if you want to do something more specific. But again, it's so important to do it. So this one right here is a dynamic stretch. You're going to start off with your hands up high. Okay, the key thing is to slightly hyperextend your back. And as you're coming down, you want to bring your arms forward. You want to come down to the ground, bend those hips, nice and easy on the way down. Slight curve of the back, come with your hands down to the ground. Really feel that stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. And then you slowly work your way back up, okay? Recovering, bringing all those discs back into their normal status. Initial position. Bring your hands up high again. Slight hyperextension of the back. And again, slowly working your way down. Okay, these are wonderful exercises to do too, to kind of just loosen up those vertebrae. All right, really kind of stretch out the hamstrings and glutes, the lower back. Okay, hold that position a little bit. So we're going to do one more of these. Okay, nice and tall. All the way back. Just hold it for about 2-3 seconds. And then you want to come down again. Nice and easy on the way down. Alrighty? Alright, nice little stretch. Okay, to get you started. Again, that shouldn't take you more than about 5-10 minutes tops, okay? Usually anywhere between there is fine to get you started, then after that get into the exercises. Okay, so the first thing today we're going to do, so this is part 2 of our abs, core, and back workout. Okay, remember, this is specifically for those of you who are coming out of some kind of injury, or just have a weakened core in general, it's important for you to continuously do this. Okay, so we're going to start off now with alternating oblique crunches. All right, so these right here are pretty straightforward to do. All right, so what we're trying to do here is we're going to lay ourselves down on the mat. Okay, make sure you get yourself a comfortable mat like this one. Okay, and the key thing is when you're doing this is you want to really keep your lower back supported as best you can on the ground. Okay, all you're doing here is just coming up, and we're just going to basically just bring the upper part. Okay, your elbow goes up to the opposite knee. Okay, you're going to come up and kind of do a side crunch. Okay, so the key thing is to come up like this and then do the other side. So we're going to alternate from side to side. And these are wonderful to incorporate as well to target not just the center part of your abs, but also your obliques. Okay, so we're going to do 2 sets of 12 here. So 1, 2, really control that breathing. Exhale the way up. 3, 4, 5. Again, doesn't require a lot of pressure on the lower back. Pretty straightforward to do. Okay, and again, it's a wonderful exercise to really strengthen that center part of your core, including your abdominals and your obliques. Okay, so we've got a couple more. All right, so we're just going to start off with a set of 12. Okay, we're going to rest for about 30 seconds. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to recover, and then get straight into set number 2. Now remember, guys, if you feel you want to go a little bit more, you're more than welcome to do a 3rd set or even a 4th set. Try to hold it to 4, and then after that you switch on to the next exercise. Make sure to rest a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to come up, same thing. So hands behind your head. You got to make sure that your neck is supported. You want to come up. Again, you're just pushing up. Make sure you use the same muscle group that you're contracting is the same muscle group that you're using your force production incorporated here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, nice and easy, and the way up and the way down. 5, exhale. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost there. 11, and 12. Beautiful. Good way to start. Again, it's a pretty laid back exercise to do. Doesn't require any equipment whatsoever, but it's a great one to start out by strengthening the center part of your core and also your obliques. Okay, so we're going to move over now. So next exercise we're going to be doing is some glute bridges with a hold. So this one right here, again, going back to the glute bridges, the bridge is such an important exercise to really strengthen your lower back and your glutes. So again, those two muscle groups are incorporated. They work together. They make up part of your core, so it's important to target all the way around. Okay, so we're doing the back side now. So this one right here, again, you want to keep yourself with your feet on the floor, knees bent. And you want to keep your hands flat on the ground because all you're doing here is doing a hip thrust. You're bringing your hips up. You're not using the upper body as momentum. You're just targeting from this region right here. So you're going to come up, nice and slow the way down. 2. So we're going to do 10 reps, and then we're going to hold it at the end for an isometric hold for 10 seconds. I had that extra tension at the end. Nice and slow. 5. So what we're trying to do here, specifically focus today on our core, including your abdominal walls, your transverse, your glutes, your hamstrings. All those muscles are a part of it. Almost there, guys. Okay, so we're going to hold it for 10 seconds now, all the way up. Just hold that position. Do the best you can. Okay, so you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so you want to give yourself a rest. Make sure to rest for about 30 seconds. Okay, then we're going to get straight into set number 2. Okay, so progressions for that exercise, again, if you feel after a while that your lower back and your glutes are basically, when you're doing the bridges, and not really building a lot of tension, traditionally, obviously, that means that your glute muscles and your lower back and your core in general are getting stronger. So you're more than welcome to incorporate a little dumbbell. Okay, I always like to put like a little bit of weight on top. Just kind of hold that in place. That'll give you a nice amount of resistance as well to make it a little tougher. Okay, what I also recommend too, if you can handle it, but if not, just keep it with the weight together. This is a tough little balance exercise, but with the one leg up and just working from one leg at a time, pushing up from that one side can also be very challenging as well. So that's another progression that I definitely recommend if you want to kind of work your way up from there. Okay, so let's go back into it. Again, I'm trying to keep it as light as possible to show you guys, because a lot of you who are going to be doing this, I'm sure, are going to be starting off wanting to work certain exercises, but not to overdo it or overtrain. Okay, so you have to know your limitations. So let's go straight up. One, nice and easy. If you can, try to hover. Try not to come all the way down and hit the ground. Try to just hover over the mat and straight back up. 3, 4, nice and easy. 5, got to really control that breathing as best you can, and the tempo goes up and down, especially on the way down. You want to slow it down about 3 to 4 seconds. Nice and slow. 8, got 2 more, guys. 9, so just the hips working their way up, and 10. Okay, so we're going to hold it up now for 10 seconds. Hold that position as high up as you can. Really feel those glutes contracting. Okay, so you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. So again, if you felt that exercise right there just with your body weight resistance, then continuously do that. But if you feel that you're not really building a lot of, if you're building a lot of strength, I mean, as you go on with these exercises, you feel you need a little bit more of a challenge, feel free to add a dumbbell in there just to give you a little bit added resistance. Or you can also do it with a single leg bridge as well, which also challenges a little bit more of that one side. It's more of the one side than the other. But again, it's a great progression to incorporate into your workout as well. Okay, let's move straight on to the next one. So now we're going to get into some planks. So the planks right here, guys, again, planks are wonderful exercises to incorporate, but the traditional plank is just the most basic one. There's a lot of variations as well that you can incorporate into your routine. Okay, but you have to make sure to start off with some plank variations that are easy to do to begin with, and then you can work your way up from there. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is an exercise that I think is pretty efficient, pretty straightforward to do. So you're going to stand like this on your knees, and you're just going to come up, kind of go side to side. Again, it doesn't require any stability whatsoever. Okay, this is a good way to start. It's just side taps back and forth. Okay, again, this is definitely working your lower back. Okay, it's also working your core. If you're starting off, you don't have a lot of core strength built in, this is the best thing to do to start. If you feel that this becomes a little bit easy, then this is where the challenge comes in. You want to hold yourself in a full horizontal position on a hover, and then come straight side to side just by keeping that. This can be a little bit tougher to do, but if you feel you want to progress, you feel that your body's capable, feel free to do it. So we're going to go in here and do 12 reps, side to side. Nice and easy. Control your breathing. Make sure you really engage that core as best you can. Yeah, you got a couple more. And rest. Bring it down to your knee position. Again, it's important after you do that, your lower back can be a little bit tight, so you want to make sure to really come back and loosen up in the child's pose position, loosen up the lower back. Okay, and come back to the forward. All right, so rest for about 30 seconds, give yourself a little bit of a breather, and then come into set number 2. Okay, so that's just the first variation. So after that, what we're going to show you is a plank exercise that I think is important as well to incorporate. So when you're doing that, after doing this exercise, incorporate a plank hold at the end just to give you that added boost. Okay, so we're going to go into set number 2 now. So same thing we did with the glute bridge. We're going to incorporate a plank hold right after this routine. Okay, so same thing. If you want to start off nice and light, just the knees down, bring your leg back up. Okay, side to side taps with the knees down. Best way to start. Okay, if you're trying to build that initial core strength. If not, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, if you're definitely in a more of an intermediate level, come down to this position right here. And again, this is definitely doable as well. You just got to keep it nice and light. Make sure when you tap the floor, you're just tapping lightly. Nothing too extreme. You don't want to pound down too hard. Otherwise, you're going to put a lot of pressure on that lower back. Control that breathing as best you can. Nice and easy. So we got a couple more. Beautiful. Now we're going to hold the plank for 20 seconds. Okay, do the best you can. Again, if you need to rest, guys, feel free to rest for about 15-20 seconds first before we get into this plank hold. If not, go straight into it. Okay, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. So we're going to hold that position. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so that's a nice little challenge there for you guys. Okay, so what I recommend is doing maybe a couple sets of those. Start off with a side taps for maybe about 12 reps. Right after that, do a second set with the side taps with 12 reps. And if you want to do a third set, what I recommend a third set, doing 12 repetitions of the side taps on the plank. And then you're going to hold a plank for the last 20 seconds right after that, just to give you that extra boost at the end there, to really focus on building that strength. Okay? All right, so moving on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come into doing some side planks. So side planks are another variation of a plank, but again, a little bit more challenging. So this requires a little bit more stability. Okay, some of you may have trouble keeping that position, especially if you don't have strong rotator cuffs back here. It might be a little bit challenging, but give it a shot. A good regression in the side plank, holding yourself in that one arm. Instead of coming up completely like this, you want to basically keep your knees down to the ground. So knees down to the ground really helps to do this. Okay, so you don't have to put too much pressure on those obliques, but it's enough to really keep you secure. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some side dips, kind of come up and down like this, back and forth. Do the best you can with these. If this becomes a little challenging, guys, scratch this exercise from your routine, or you can also just do some more plank variations in the mix as well if you want to. All right, so we're just going to do 10 of these, side to side, kind of hold that position. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to rest a little bit. Again, these can be a little bit tough, so you got to give yourself plenty of rest time. I recommend resting anywhere between 40-45 seconds, even to a full minute before we switch over to the other side. Okay, so again, another strengthening tool to strengthen the lower back and also the obliques. So I'm going to switch over now. Same position. Again, keeping your knees on the ground. Don't elevate them. Don't elevate your legs completely. This can be very, very tough for a lot of you. So start off in a light position. Okay. You're going to come up here, hold that. We're just going to do some dips. 1, 2. Now another thing you can do, guys, if you want a little bit more support, keep that other hand on the ground and push up slightly with that other hand. It also gives you a little bit more support if you need it. Okay, this will really help you. Again, you're still working your obliques, but you're pushing up, giving a little bit extra strength, a little force on this hand to help you to push up on those oblique dips. Okay, so we got a couple more. 1, 2, beautiful. Now we're going to take a break, just rest a little bit. Okay, so another 30-45 seconds. Make sure to get a drink of water if you need to, just kind of recover from that, and then we'll get into set number 2. Okay, so remembering, when you're doing these exercises, you have to start off with a minimal strength production possible. So when you're doing the obliques, for example, bending the knees really gives you the support you need. When you're doing the planks, especially the taps, keeping the knees on the ground gives you the support you need, so you don't have to push too much from here or the lower back. Okay, so set number 2. So get yourself ready. So we're going to hold this position here, come straight up. Again, these are dips. Okay. 3. Again, if you need that extra support, use that hand, push up slightly. Just kind of help. It's kind of just like as a helping point, a helping base, and trying to just give you that extra boost so you can actually come up and do the dips. Okay? But if not, just go straight into it. Okay, last one. Beautiful. So we're going to take a short breather, and we're going to switch over to the other side. Again, some of you might need a little bit of stretching, so feel free to stretch out your lower back if you feel a little bit of pressure. Give yourselves about 10 seconds to do that. Then get into the second side of the set here, doing the other side, okay? Okay, so same thing. Hold this position right here. Okay, we're going to come up and do 10 reps. So 1, if you need the support. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great exercise to strengthen here and work the lower back as well. 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. So we're going to rest a little bit now. Make sure you recover. Okay, guys, so remember. All right, so make sure to give yourself plenty of rest, recover a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a second variation in about 30 seconds, which is basically just a traditional isometric hold. Okay, so we're going to do an oblique hold Now, I recommend with the oblique holds you do anywhere between 15 to 20 seconds to start. Again, it can be challenging because you're just supporting yourself in that one arm. So you have to make sure that you give yourself a minimal point to start off with, and you can work your way up from there. Okay, so we're going to do the same position here. So knees bent. Okay, now we're just going to push up and hold for 20 seconds. Okay, if you want a little bit more stability, I like to keep my hand up high just to give you that reference point, and this allows you to give it a little bit more stability to hold that oblique in place. Okay, just hold it. Okay, so we got 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So you can really feel that working after a while. Doing a couple sets like that with the dynamic ones, going straight into the isometric hold, you can really feel the difference. And again, you're trying to strengthen all the way around. So same thing here. Hold that position, knees bent. You want to come up. Okay, noting that this is a regression, guys. The full exercise for the oblique is this one right here. If you feel like you want to challenge yourself, so you get to a point where your obliques are strong, progress to the full leg extension. If not, start off with the knees bent. It's a little bit easier to do. So you're going to hold that, okay, 20 seconds. Okay, do the best you can. You can really feel that tension build up there. Just breathe normally on this. Really engage that all the way around your abdominal wall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. All right, so just going to rest a little bit. Another 30 seconds. We're going to do one more set of those, and then work our way over to the next set. Okay? So again, keep this in mind. If you feel free, if you want to do just one set of those guys, you're more than welcome to. Okay? If you want to branch off and do 2 sets, that's okay too. You have to know your limitations. That's the most important factor here. So, all right, you have to know what you're capable of. So, okay, same thing. Hold the position. You're going to come up. We're going to do a couple sets of these because these are really important to do. Okay, just kind of hold that as best you can. Really control that breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so we're going to switch sides. I'm going to give yourselves about a 20 to 30 second rest. Okay, if you need to pause this video, you're more than welcome to as well if you want to rest a little bit more. Okay, so same thing. Make sure to keep your knees bent, stay in that position. Okay, just breathe normally. So, okay, we're going to come up, hold that position as best you can. Almost there, guys. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. All right, so we've got some great core exercises there. So again, we started off by working the glutes, the lower back. Okay, we did some oblique work. Okay, we also did some plank work in the middle, some core work. Okay, now we're going to branch off a little bit and we're going to do some leg work. Okay, so this one right here, it's another great exercise that you can incorporate. If some of you have trouble doing the reverse crunches, for example, alternating the legs can be a little simpler to do. So I'm going to show you a variation of the lying leg raises. So same thing we did with the first video that I showed you, part 1. With this one right here, you're going to keep your hands under your glutes, give you that support. You're just going to come up one leg at a time. The key thing here is to try to keep your feet hovered over the mat. Okay, try not to bring your heels down. If you need to rest a little bit, more than welcome to keep your heels down, but try to keep it in a hover, and you're going to lift up. So again, alternating the legs, a little bit easier than doing both legs together. This can put a little bit added pressure on the lower back, so try to keep it one leg at a time. And if you still feel this is a challenge, guys, I showed you this exercise right here in the first video. It's another great video, or you can also do it with the one leg at a time as well. Okay, just alternating the leg one after the other. Okay, but this one right here should be pretty good. Okay, again, not a lot of pressure there. Okay, so try to do anywhere between 10 to 12 reps altogether. Okay, so we got 7, 8, 9, 10, a couple more, 11, and 12. Beautiful. So after that, you want to make sure to take a short breather. Okay, make sure to really give yourself a little bit of rest, about 40 seconds, and then come back into set number 2. So that exercise right there is very similar to what we did with the knee ups. Okay, knee-ups are definitely the best way to start. And if you feel you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you're more than welcome to do both legs together. Okay, but an easier version of doing both legs together when you're coming up is doing one leg at a time. So set number 2, let's get straight into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, really alternate. 5, 6, 7, 8, nice and easy on the way down. 9, 10, so we got a couple more here, guys. 11. So beautiful. So come in, just kind of rest a little bit, keep your lower back. Again, that might feel a little bit of tightness, a little bit of a buildup of soreness here in the lower back, so feel free to stretch if you need to. Really come back, just try to get yourself into this little child's pose position. Loosen up that back. And then relax. Nicely done. Alrighty. Okay, so that was our abdominal workout of the series. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to go into now just talking a little bit about the back. Okay, because again, the back muscles, especially the lats, also give support to the core, especially the lower back and the glutes. They work together as well. So it's important to target those muscles as well individually. So we're going to go in and doing 3 exercises that I think are very efficient, that will help you. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So to finish up, the back muscles that we're going to starting out for the large muscles here, working the lats, which are these muscles that come down here that connect to the lower back. Then we're going to do one exercise also for the traps and working a little bit of that midpoint as well. First exercise I'm going to show you is a dumbbell single armed row. Okay, pretty straightforward to do. If you guys have dumbbells at home, I recommend this. Again, anywhere between 5, maybe 10. Okay, for those of you who are a little bit more on the heavier side, 15 to 20 pounds is okay. But again, this should be for somebody who is trying to recover, trying to strengthen certain muscles. So don't go too heavy. All right, so what I'm going to show you is the dumbbell single arm row. So we're going to do one side at a time. Pretty straightforward to do. The key thing here is just to give yourself a little bit of that slight bend of the hips. You want to make sure that your legs are spread apart. Okay, so legs spread apart so you give yourself a little bit of that stability and that stance. You come down slightly and you want to come up like this. So again, basically just come straight up, nice and easy on the way up, slow down on the way down. So 12 reps on each side. Try to keep that back straight as possible. If you have a slight arch in your upper back, it's okay. But try to keep your back straight and engage that core. Okay, so we got a couple more here. Last one. Beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to switch sides. So same thing. You want to get that front back stance. Okay, really keep that back straight as possible. You come up. 1. All right. Let's come straight down to straight up. 3, 4, 5. Nice and easy. 6. Really control that. 7, 8, 9, 10, because you got a couple more. 11, last one, and 12. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to rest for 30 seconds. Just give yourselves a little bit of time to recover and get into set number 2. So it's important for you to do, when you do these exercises, you're more than welcome to do 3 sets or even 4 sets, but try to keep it in the minimal to start off with. A couple sets is good for a lot of these variations, a lot of these exercises that we're doing. And then as you feel that you are building a little bit more strength, you can really work your way up a little bit more to another set or even 2. Okay, so but you have to, again, focus on what you can handle, your capabilities. That's very important. Same thing, keep the stance, back straight, come straight up. And really control that movement too. You don't want to go too fast. You want to really feel that contraction point in those large back muscles. Nice and easy. Again, so this is working the back muscles, especially the large lat muscles as well, because again, they also work well together to give strength to the core. But a lot of those muscle groups are also important as well. Okay, so we're going to switch over, same thing. All right, so front back stance, keeping your hand here. Make sure you give yourself a little bit of a base support. So I like here, I have this cushion chair. All right, you're more than welcome to use like a regular chair or a bench or something like that, or even hold onto a railing, whatever you have at home available. So make sure you give yourself that support. And you want to come straight up. 1, 2, nice and easy. 3, 4, control that breathing. 5, 6, 7, almost there, guys. 8, 9, 10, good job. So we've got a couple more. 11, and 12, beautiful job. Alrighty. Alright, so that was our single arm row exercise. Again, specifically focusing the large back muscles here, which are your lats. Also needed to be strengthened as well. We're trying to target the whole entire core and lobopelvic hip complex, including your glutes and hamstrings, and also your large back muscles as well. All those muscles come together to really give yourself that overall functional strength capacity that you need on your day-to-day basis. Okay, so we're going to work our way on to exercise number 2 now. So this one right here I'm going to show you is a great exercise to target as well, the central part of your back and your lats. Okay, all you need here really is just a resistance band, guys. So if you have a resistance band at home like this one, for example, I definitely recommend it. These come in different sizes. Okay, so this one right here, the red one's medium bands. We also have bands like yellow ones and green ones, which are a little bit on the lighter side. You're more than welcome to use that to start off with. This can be a little bit tougher to do. Okay, and then you kind of work your way from there. So what we're going to do is pretty straightforward. I'm going to show you this one. So one of our exercises to do, you just kind of plant it around a base. So like a door or something like that, that's all you need. Okay, and what we're trying to do here is to strengthen basically those central part of your back and also your lats. So just doing a closed grip row. Again, very easy exercise to do. Doesn't require a lot of technique. It's just basically starting off here and working your way back like this. 2. You're trying to keep your elbows together. Just coming straight. So your elbows should be basically right next to your rib cage. You're just going to basically just push back. Okay, give yourself the added resistance. Okay, and the important thing here is that you really give yourself plenty of leeway here so you can come straight back like this. You see how my bands are pretty stretched out? So I want to make sure that I can really feel those muscles contracting back there. 5, 6, I'm going to go to 12 reps. 7, nice and easy. 8. I like to do a slight knee bend as well, just to give myself that added support, okay, added stability in your body. And release. Okay, so that was set number 1. Again, very easy to exercise to do. Doesn't require a lot of weight. Okay, just a light resistance band to keep it going. But again, it's just enough that you can strengthen those muscles back there. Okay, so set number 2. Give yourself give yourself about 20 to 30 seconds to rest on this one. Again, it doesn't require a lot of rest time just because there's not a lot of pressure going in from this exercise right here, but you should give yourself a little bit of rest as well. Okay, so start off here, knees slightly bent, come straight back. 1, to really control that breathing. 3, 4, nice and easy control. 5. You really see how my elbows are really tucked in next to my rib cage. That's what you want. You don't want them to come out too wide. You want to keep them nice and locked right next to your rib cage. Come straight back. Control that breathing. So you got a couple more, guys. 11, 12. Beautiful job. Alrighty? Alright, so that one right there, if you don't have a resistance band at home, another thing I can recommend is just doing a couple dumbbells. All you have to do is in a bent over position, just come straight up like this. It's another variation of it if you guys feel you want to do that as well. Okay, we're going to work our way over now to the third exercise and the last one of the day, okay, which is basically a bent over dumbbell fly, reverse fly. So this one right here is based specifically for targeting the upper back. And again, I wanted to do the upper back as well just because the back should be targeted as a whole. All right, it also gives you support. If you strengthen the muscles in your upper back, your middle, and your lower back, it'll give you overall support for your spinal column as well. You want to be able to support those muscles in the spine, your rectus spinae muscles, by strengthening the muscles all the way in the back and your back to give you that stability and support that you need. Okay, it's for functional purposes and for strength, overall strength. So the back should be targeted as a whole. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 dumbbells like these right here. And again, you're more than welcome to go a little bit lighter if you those of you who are starting out by doing these. Okay, if you struggle with a lot of weight with these, you're more than welcome just to do it with maybe 2-3 pounds. We're going to do it in a bent over position. The key thing here is to do a fly. So you're going to come out to the side like this. Okay, so bent over position, knees bent, hips slightly bent, about a 90-degree angle. Keep your elbows extended, and you want to come back like this. So we're going to do 10 reps. 2. Really feel those traps back there working. 3, 4. Nice and easy control. 5, 6, 7. After a while, I can really feel it. 8, 9. Last one. 10. Beautiful. Let's take a little bit of a break. So make sure you give yourselves about a 30-second rest and then get into set number 2. Okay, so remembering, every single aspect of your body is important. There's not one muscle group that's less important than the other. It's important to work together. Okay, all the muscles basically work together in what we call kinetic chain function. Okay, so they all work together to really help to get the muscles strong. Okay, so you have to be able to use certain exercises and certain techniques to incorporate into your mix to really get those specific muscle groups targeted. Okay, so this is one of them. The back muscles, the core muscles, your lumbopelvic hip complex is all very important to target. If you're feeling you need a little bit of support in the midsection, that's what you need. Okay, so let's get into set number 2. So same thing here. Remember to keep your knees bent, hips slightly bent. You want to come out 1, nice and wide. 2. So basically just coming out a little bit on the wider side. Remember, trying to keeping those elbows right where your shoulder blade is. So same length and same width. Nice controlled breathing. Okay, so we got a couple more, guys. Last 2. 12. Beautiful job. Alrighty. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini-series. Again, I was specifically trying to target areas of the body that I feel that not only get injured very, very frequently, but are not strengthened enough. So in this case, we targeted the knees, targeted the hip complex, targeted your overall core. So all those muscle groups were important. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini-series. If you feel you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.